Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to this video. This video is going to be a product deep dive video. Today we're looking into Perscient, an AI-powered narrative intelligence for the markets. Sometimes you can feel when the market narratives are shifting, but you really cannot measure it. Perscient tackles what most business intelligence tools completely miss, systematically tracking the stories driving the markets, politics, and the business decisions. With 4.1 million raised entirely from existing clients, this isn't a typical venture-backed software. It's a platform that has been validated by the users who are already understanding its value. In this deep dive, we're going to explore as to what narrative intelligence actually means, beyond data points to the stories that are shaping the markets, the decade-long journey of the founders building semantic signatures technology, how it actually works, tracking not just what's discussed, but how it's framed and who is gaining ground. The storyboards, which are visualized, watch the narratives rise, fall, and transform over time in real time. The four products which are offered, for example, Pro for investors, Prism for portfolios, Parallax for advisors, and Panorama for custom intelligence. The Epsilon Theory connection from influential financial media brand to a commercial platform. The unique funding story and the target market reality, the enterprise level platform for investment professionals and business strategists. We examine as to how Perscient measures what is typically unmeasurable, the narrative shifts that precede qualitative changes. From tariff policy framing to market sentiment evolution, this platform attempts to quantify the stories that move the markets. Let's start with the context out here, the narrative problem in business intelligence. Now, traditional business intelligence focuses on structured data, revenue figures, market metrics, performance indicators. But many critical business decisions are influenced by narratives, how people frame issues, which stories are gaining momentum, and what perspectives dominate conversations. These narratives can signal market shifts, emerging trends, or changing sentiment long before they show up in the quantitative data. A business leader might sense that the conversations around their industry are changing, but measuring that shift objectively has been difficult. You can feel the momentum building or fading, but quantifying it is another matter altogether. And this brings us to Perscient. What is Perscient? Perscient emerged from Second Foundation Partners, the company behind Epsilon Theory, a well-known financial media brand focused on narrative analysis. The founders, Ben Hunt and Rusty Ginn, spent over a decade researching and building what they call semantic signatures technology before launching Perscient as a commercial platform. The platform uses large language models to process massive amounts of unstructured text data, identifying and tracking specific narrative patterns over time. These aren't just keyword searches, semantic signatures capture how stories are being framed, who's telling the stories, and where they are gaining traction. Perscient visualizes this narrative intelligence through what they call storyboards, data visualizations that show how specific narratives rise, fall, or transform over time. For example, you could actually track as to how discussions around tariffs shift between different framings as a protection for domestic industry, as a revenue generation, or as a reshoring strategy. The platform offers multiple products tailored to different users. Pro for investment professionals, including market intelligence and trade ideas. Prism provides custom storyboards for monitoring narratives affecting specific portfolios. Parallax serves financial advisors with client communication insights, and Panorama offers fully customized business intelligence combining internal and external data. Next, let's try and understand as to how the technology works. Perscient's technology combines AI automation with human expertise. The large language models process unstructured data rapidly, identifying relevant narrative patterns across global sources. Human analysts then provide context and interpretation, ensuring intelligence remains actionable. The semantic signatures track not just what's being discussed, but how it is being discussed, the specific framing, and the ideas that reveal perspective shifts. Each signature quantifies narrative strength and sentiment across time, creating a measurable view of otherwise subjective phenomena. Next, let's also talk about the current limitations and the considerations. Narrative intelligence is inherently more subjective than the traditional data analysis. While Perscient provides systematic measurement, interpreting narrative significance still requires judgment and context that varies by user and by situation. The platform's effectiveness depends on the quality and the breadth of data sources that it monitors. Narrative shifts in niche industries or emerging markets might be harder to capture than the mainstream financial narratives. We hope that you've enjoyed the preview edition of this topic. If you like this edition and you want to know more about the topic and understand it in detail, head on to Pallavi